welcome along to this new video. And in this video today I'm going to be talking about the recently released Buster Keaton films that have been released by Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. Now they started releasing these titles in around about 2016, and at that point I would say I had just come off the back of watching some Buster Keaton shorts on the Sky channel, Sky Arts, and they had put them on there, so I tried them out just to see what they were like. And they might have even been from the same collection here. They were putting the short films on that they said they'd been recently remastered, and this would have been around about 2015. Now I thought I'd try them out, why not? I'm a big fan of early silent films, and also a big fan of Laurel and Hardy, so I knew about Buster Keaton, but I didn't feel I'd really watched any of his films. So anyway, I put them on. I just thought, well, I did know about some of his famous stunts that he did, but I didn't know much about anything else. So I put them on and had a few documentaries on as well. And I must admit, I was gripped. I was gripped at the fact that Buster Keaton is probably, without shadow of a doubt, one of the greatest acrobatic stuntmen that has ever lived. Now, I couldn't believe some of the stunts that were in these movies, and also I've seen some of the makings of and behind the scenes in these Blu-rays, and they talk about the injuries that Buster Keaton had got filming some of these hair-raising stunts. So for me, I thought myself, when I saw that Eureka was releasing a Buster Keaton box set, I was instantly there. So the first one that I got, it was the first thing that they released. Now I thought this was volume 1 because there's been a few more released after this, but it wasn't really, because these are more the silent short films were released in one box set. And the good news is about this set is that they are still in print, because sadly I can't say the same about all the ones in this collection. But anyway, the first one that I got is this one here. Now this is the Buster Keaton The Complete Short Films 1917 to 1923. Now these are over 100 years old. Now it's really amazing to see any footage from over 100 years old in any shape or form or format, but to see ones that are quite advanced in his technical ability to some of the things that he does actually in real life stunts, some of the techniques he uses by reversing the camera, some of the little jump cuts that he does, which must have been the stuff of when these things were first put on cinema. People would have been stunned to see these things where, for instance, Buster Keaton is there's somebody standing holding a tray, and there's a jump cut. When he jumps up, he jumps through the person and into this, he vanishes. You can see it now, but I would imagine back in the day they would have been mesmerized by these things that Buster Keaton was putting out in his movies. So this one here, you can get it online now. It's around about £27, and it's got a running time of 12 hours. Now for that, you would be mad to pass this up, because if you want to know anything about, I'm going to leave a link down below for Buster Keaton's greatest stunts, and they'll put you a little bit of all them things you see down there will be in these videos here, these Blu-rays. Now some of them are 4K and 2K upgrades, but that's a bit later on in the series. Now this, I'll put that up there, and you can pause that if you would like, if you want to see what's actually on this set, because there's plenty of stuff. But the good thing about this is that it's probably a great introduction into the master that is Buster Keaton. It's actually got a quote on the back of here from Orson Welles, if I can read it without my glasses. Keaton was beyond all praise a very great artist, and one of the most brilliant men I ever saw on the screen. He was also a superb director. In the last analysis, nobody comes near him. Keaton, one of the greats. Orson Welles. Now this box set here has 33 short films on, like I say, 12 hours running time, and it does come with an amazing, all these do come with amazing it's got your hard box, which is exactly what you want to see in a presentation like this, and it's still this version as well. It's not as if you get like a worse version or a lesser version. You get this huge booklet. I'm going to say it's 100 pages, but it could be more than that. it's just amazing what they've put into this. Well, Eureka are another label that will go to the extremes when they're passionate about a project. So that's your booklet. That'll probably take you a year to get through. And you get these 3 Blu-rays here, which have the films broken up into you know, a certain amount on certain discs. And I've watched all of these, and I've got to admit, there's not a dud in this. These are all great movies, and they are. It's funny when you think of a film from 1917. You would look atrocious, but to be honest, most of these look really, really good. Now these ones here are all in 2K. Now for 1080p. I wouldn't say they were the best ones out of the whole lot, because some of the ones in here, especially the 4K restorations, you have to see them to believe them, if I'm honest. But these are the best you've ever seen, these Buster Keaton. And I've seen old Buster Keaton ones which you can hardly tell what's going on. And these ones here will elevate him into obviously modern day. You can watch it and you don't feel like as if you're watching something from 1917, although you can in a way, if that makes sense. Just that it's an amazing presentation, and they have done a stellar job on this. And the good thing is they've done this before. The films themselves have been lost to time. Now some of these ones, I think there is lost films of Buster Keaton, but remarkably enough, I think they've managed to save practically every one of his films, which is great, because he's made a load of films. So it does start off on the beginnings of his career when he plays second fiddle to another who was a massive star at the time, no pun intended, and he is Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. And that's another thing, it was of its time, and he was this round fellow who but Buster Keaton was in them, but you can see his progression in here. You'll see him going into doing his own stuff, and by the end of the box set you'll see that it's his own stuff, his own direction, his own written by, his pot lines, and it's also got his amazing stunts in it. Like I say, take a watch of that video down there. You will not believe what you're going to see in some of these things. And some of them, it's one where he falls off, he jumps from one building to another building, a bit like Mission Impossible. He hits the other building wrong and he falls all the way down, and it was only because there was some like hoardings that were hanging out. People had put them out, must be for sun visors, and he went all through them. If he hadn't have done that, he would have fell off the top of this really tall building and obviously killed himself. But this is the type of thing that you'll be treated with in this presentation. It's got you on the edge of your seat sometimes for people when he's going next to trains and trains are missing him by a millimeter. It was a jaw dropper for me, because I wasn't expecting how good these films would be, and it elevated him from maybe I would consider maybe someone that I knew about and didn't have any interest in, to be, he's right up there with Lauren Hardy for me. In fact, in the star of silent era, he is number one with a bullet. He is just phenomenal, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on the next one that came out. To be honest, I didn't know there was another one coming out after this. I thought this was it. I didn't know much about his film output. I didn't know much about making longer films, like Lauren Hardy went from shorts to longer films. Don't know anything about him, but through this one, I was treated to all his short films, still in print, $27.99 for 12 hours of really good presented stuff, and also you get lots of behind the scenes documentaries, all that type of thing. So this box set for me is essential, and it's one of my favourite Eureka titles. So moving on to that, so that's readily available. Sadly, part one of there's 3 parts now, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, although it doesn't say anything on there. This one is title number 150. Now this one here came out in 2017, and it's got, and I know that Carlino 9 was talking about slip cases and stuff like that. Would you leave slip covers on, J covers, all this type of thing? Well, in this one, when it's on my shelves, this isn't on, because I find it to be a really odd not slip cover, but J card as such, but I don't even know what that would be classed as. But that immediately, it doesn't get thrown away. I never throw anything away, but I take it off because on the shelves I prefer that just to look like that. Now these are number 172 to 174, and this set features the and I've wrote some notes down here: Sherlock Jr. from 1924, The General from 1926, and Steamboat Jr. from 1928. So I watched all of these films, and again, you're treated with a lovely booklet. You've got your hard box and that, and I'll put that on there. You can pause that if you want to take a look and see what all the extras on here, and it's another one with loads of extras. And the running time for this is 191 minutes. So when you get these things, you know you're going to get value for money at least. Well, kind of. This one here, it has, now if I can find out, I'm pretty sure that some it might have been, I think these are all, right. These are 2K presentations from new 4K restorations. So that's the first time you're seeing a 4K restoration on the Buster Keaton stuff, which the first one doesn't have 4K restorations, but some of them look really pin sharp, which is amazing to think that something over 100 years old could be pin sharp. It's baffling. So you get three. You get the films are put into three separate cases, and you get your special stuff on there, on the back there, and it's another. These are all amazing. Some of the things in here, and this one here, The General, it's about a steam train called The General, and it's about Buster. It's got this really good story about him being, it's about the American Civil War. He's on one side and he's trying to get this train through to get through to the other side through all the enemy. It's so amazing to think that, and some of the stunts in it, and also it had at that time, without giving anything away, had the most expensive stunt ever filmed on moving pictures, 1926. So that whole thing is unreal, and you get your booklet with it as well, and that's another one. It's not as big as the other booklet, but it's still a nice booklet. You get, seems to be more pictures in this, and you get lots of stuff with you get alternative artwork and stuff for the original movies when they're put out. And that set today, I think I bought this. This is one where you just think, why the collectors get this thing happening to them. Now this one here, I bought it from HMV, and I got it for, I think it was $24.99, which most of these are when they start off. In fact, if you get them on release, you're better off getting all of these on release, on day of release, because you'll save yourself a pretty penny at the end of the day. So this one here retails now, if you want it, around about the 200 to 250 mark, which it's phenomenal amount of money to think you've got something like that in your collection. But as well, is it worth it? Well, I don't think anything's worth that amount of money. But you can't get these films separately, so it's not as if you're going to miss out on it. But if you want this set, you might be able to pick it up much cheaper on eBay. But beware, you're not going to pay, and it is completely out of print. You can't even get it from Eureka website. So unfortunately, but it has got some really great films on, and these films are all full-length films. An hour and 20 minutes. So that's volume 1 from Eureka. And like I said, I think I told you, 172 to 174. Amazing set, really good, very good films as well, and they look better than the short films. So the next one that came out was volume 2, obviously, and this was released just a few months ago, should I say. And that is these are all 4K presentations on Blu-ray discs, obviously 2K presentations from a 4K source, and you get one Blu-ray which has got the 3 films in there, which is 7 Chances from 1925, Battling Butler 1926, and The Navigator from 1924. So you get, do you get a booklet in this? No, you don't get booklets in here, because you obviously get your booklet, but you get all your discs there. You get a little bit of artwork in there as well. You get your lovely plush book again. And as far as I know, this again, I paid £24 for this one. As far as I know, this one is just went out of print. Now, it does say on Eureka's website you can get it available, limited stock from them. But when you go to buy it, it does say out of print. So I don't know if they're ever going to get any in. But another thing, when you go on eBay, you're probably looking around about £40–50 like that. Is it worth it? I haven't watched these yet. I'm dying to watch them, because when I got this one and the next one, I thought, well, I'll go through and I'll watch the earlier ones, 24, then maybe another 24 on the other disc, and I'll go through and then watch 25, 26. I'll watch them in I like to watch them in, what's that word called I'm searching for? Chronological order, that's right. So again, you get another hard box. All the corners are present, because you can't get these from HMV sadly anymore, because Eureka don't stock HMV don't stock Eureka titles at the moment, and so you're at the mercy of the postman. But luckily, thank God, these ones have come through unscathed from Amazon, which I've got a lot of time for Amazon when they post things. I would say there's another company out there that's getting a lot of grief at the minute, but quite rightly, because if you're posting things out that are for a collector is collecting, and you are, as all you are, you would want your stuff to be in pristine condition, and you would keep it in pristine condition so you can, cherish it for years and years. And it comes through like somebody's kicked it from wherever it's come from to your front door. Well, that's just not good customer service at all, and everybody knows which company I'm talking about. It rhymes with Lavi. So there you go. So that's volume 2, and that has just recently went out with print. But if you're lucky enough, you might find a couple of stragglers knocking about here, there, somewhere. You might even find one in CAX, but I very much doubt it, because CAX these days, they seem to know about these prices sometimes, and they'll put the price on, but they might even put it to a ridiculous price in there. So if you're lucky, but the message for these films is to, when you want it, if you like these films and you want them, just get them quick. I don't know if there's any more coming out. I would like to think they'll get more out. I don't know if they've got the rights to have any more. It seems like they've went and got these rights from, it does say where it sort of comes from. It's got a company that has kept these things, and that they're sort of they're working with them, but I can't see the name on here at the minute. I can't read anything without my glasses. So that's volume 2, and that runs for 3 hours 18 minutes. And on Eureka website, it says you can buy it from them for £30, although you can't. But I think £30 for a film like this, you get 3 films on it, is pretty good. I would think 30 would be about the limit for me to pay for these. But it depends if you really want them. I think that one there for £250 is just a little bit extravagant. So the last one I got was just the other day. On my last video, you would see me unboxing this, but I didn't actually open it. And it's volume 3. Now this has Our Hospitality from 1923, Go West 1925, and College 1927. Another 3 films. It seems much along the lines of number 2, volume 2, should I say? Because volume 1 seemed to be a little bit more extravagant. Maybe they've started to put them down. Maybe they're going to spread them out. I don't know. I've got no idea what their plans are for forthcoming Buster Keaton films, unfortunately. But I would love to think that they're going to do more. So because I haven't unboxed this, it's still got its J card on. It's also, as you can see just there, I don't know, as that one had a J card as well, I would take them all off. I prefer them on the shelves without a J card. I would like to think I could get this off without taking the plastic off, but then I've got to leave the J card on, but I don't mind that so much. So if you'll indulge me, I'm just going to take this, see how I get with this, and I'll come back here in 2 seconds, because if I'm doing this and I make a mess of it and I start crying, I'll have to cut that out, because I'm going to have to be very careful with this one. The thought of it, imagine that, just because Stanley knives are very unforgiving. Right, so am I going to get this out? If I do, I'll keep it as it is. I can live without seeing it. I can live with it out. Let's see, did that work? Yeah, kind of. If this comes out all right, then I'm happy with that. Right. Yeah, I think that's gonna last there. Another hard box. Yeah, I think that'll that'll live on like that. So I'm not going to take I'm just going to leave it like that. But if it ever come off, I would take that card off as well. But it's irrelevant to leave it like that. So this set here has a running time of, if I can find it, of 222 minutes. And you get the Amory case, and you also get the three films in there, and you get a little picture in the back there, and also you will get in this set as well, you get your booklet, and strange picture. It is Buster Keaton, that. Obviously it'd be pertinent to something happening in these movies, I would imagine. You get some more, you get another amazing booklet, and I'm just going to have to, if you don't mind, I'll just have the old, yes, nectar. Yep, so that's number 3, volume 3. I don't know how far it'll go. I would like to think they would do more. I don't know how many more they could do, because I know he's released quite a few films, but do they have them all? Are they all in their grasp? So yes, so there you go. That is 2 and 3 and 1. 1, 2 and 3. 1 is just super hard to get, super rare. The rest of them, so this one here, it was originally on the site for £24.99. I was just about to buy it, and the next day when I went for it, it went to £31 and 4 pence, which was, so I knew I had to pounce on it there. I was going to leave it maybe a week or two longer, but I thought I should have just got it on day one. Now, if any of these more of these get released, I'm just going to pre-order them straight away. So I don't want to think that I'll get to the point where I've got this set, and they'll be on my, they're very heavy when you get the whole lot together. When I get them together like that, I wouldn't like to think that the next one, if I didn't get them in this series, wouldn't fall into that category. So yeah, so that for me is my Buster Keaton set. Highly recommended. I urge you to check out the links down below, and also as a very much a quick side note here, another person who's obviously great at physical humour in the silent era was Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin even, not Charlie Chaplin. That was his brother. So this one here is on the Curzon Artificial Eye label, and they do quite a lot of his stuff, but I really want to see this film because it's a silent film, but it was shot at the time when talkies were, this is 1936, and talkies came about in 1930. So he could have talked on it, but he didn't. He chose to make this a silent film. But he does sing a song in it, funny enough, and there is sound effects to it, and there's like sounds going, but there's no speaking in it, which I quite like that, the way he's done that. And also I'm going to leave a link down to this scene in it where they've invented this machine that you can eat something by the aid. It's all about mechanical stuff, like factories and all that type of thing, and all this technical revolution that was probably happening at that time. So they've invented, or he's trying out a thing where they've got this eating machine, and they put a corn and a cob on it, and he's strapped into this chair, and this corn and the cob is going along like that, and it's so funny. So I'll put that little clip on down there just so you can get a flavour of that. But this is another one that these silent films, they are what they are. They are great. They aren't just something you should forget about or just kick to the side because they don't have talking in it. I think sometimes that can be a benefit for that. Now these ones there, for me, these are the greatest silent. This is the greatest silent actor for me. Also, technically, he's just amazing. Charlie Chaplin's always credited to be the technical one, but for me, he comes a bit of a second fiddle to Buster Keaton. So if you prefer Buster Keaton to Charlie Chaplin, or you think Charlie Chaplin is the one who invented it all, feel free to comment down below. I love the fact that everyone seems to be commenting on my videos now, which is great. I get loads of comments on it, which I really enjoy. The only times when I don't comment is if I'm at work and I can't get to the phone. So there you go. So there you have it. Thanks for sticking around till the end, and I'll see you on the next video. And also thanks once again for all the subscriptions, recent subscriptions. I'm meeting loads of great people, and I do plan to check out all these channels because they're coming a bit fast and furious. So I'm going to set them up on my TV, and I'm going to start digging into them. So hopefully we'll get chatting some more on your videos as well. So thanks once again. I'll see you on the next video, and you take care.